Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, I'm Ron with Ideal, and this video is dedicated to a customer service call I got last Monday. You know, I'm heading to the Bixie Show winter conference, and I'm at the airport, and I get this phone call from customer service. I happen to be the fourth guy this guy had actually talked to, and he was needing help with really one of the simplest things we sell at Ideal is for stripping Romex. And you know what? I couldn't help him out either. It's a fairly new tool, and I don't use it much. And I really couldn't help him again. I was in between planes and trying to get somewhere. So, you know what, guy? This video is dedicated to you. If you have to be that person, you get hold of me, all right? I'll be glad to work something out with you because I never want to leave a customer unhappy because actually the tool works pretty good for what it is, you know? And actually the tool is the 45-025, what we call our Lil Ripper tool if you want to look it up on Ideal's website. You know, if I'm stripping Romex, since I work for Ideal, I'll probably have a pair of these nice reflex stripping tools designed for 14.2 and 12.2 Romex, but those are a little bit more money than some people want to spend. And, you know, we've been selling for years things like these little tools for actually ripping the length of the sheeting on a piece of Romex or NM type cable. And we've sold these again for years and years, and they're fairly inexpensive. So the new version of the inexpensive one is this little plastic one we call the Lil Ripper. And actually, it's a very simple tool, and it does actually 5 different things. And one end of the tool, you'll notice, is kind of a tube-looking thing, and it's got a hook looking out of it, right? And the other end of the tool's got a couple blades on it, right? And when we work with things like NM cable, and I have an old piece of, looks like 10-12-2 here, whatever it is, and I can actually, when I insert this, I want to rip the length of that Romex, make sure that little hook is inside the sheeting when you insert it on this end of the tool, and see how it rips through the length of the wire there. And I can actually now, that hook is cut through that jacketing. I can pull all that jacketing back, and I can actually cut that using the blade on this tool here on the top of the tool. And see how it just kind of cut through that sheeting for us, all right? And the other blade, which is kind of a V-notch looking one, will actually strip the actual individual conductors. And you just insert the conductor in there. And by the way, there is a stripping gauge here on the side of the tool. I'm going to tell you, most people probably don't use that. They eyeball about 3/4 of an inch and insert that wire in there. And I'm going to rotate the tool back and forth a couple times. And I can use the tool to actually pull the jacketing off the conductor as well. And one other thing you have to do when you're working with things like receptacles is you've got to make that loop in the conductor so you can wrap that around that screw. The tool does that as well because there's some holes in the side of the tool here. Now, so allow us to insert a conductor and actually make that loop in the conductor for you. And then one last thing the tool does is where the blades are, you can insert like a wing nut or wire nut, and it'll actually go in there, and you can use the tool to actually help you tighten that connector onto the conductors, trying to get a nice good twist out the back of the conductors when you're actually making up connections, okay? So there you go. That's the Ideal Lil Ripper tool. It's actually pretty simple. I'm sorry I couldn't help that guy out that day. I really feel bad about it, but what the heck, you can't please everybody. Hey, I'm Ron with Ideal again. See you on the next one.